Good afternoon, YouTube. Just kind of help some people out if you're looking to install the aftermarket Assassin's pre-airbox high flow intake tube. The directions you get are a little hard to make out there. Here are the clamps. Best thing to do is kind of just lay out the original tube after you took it off. Easiest way to get to it and take everything off and get it back in is just take the seats out, fold the back down so you can see the actual airbox right there. And then kind of mimic the tube exactly to what the original looks like. That'll be the easiest way to get the proper fitting in there, and then you can kind of slightly turn each piece as you need it, but that gives you a good starting point. Just trying to follow the directions is a little bit interesting. So just kind of mimic the original tube with the new configuration, the new pieces, and it should fit right in. So you can see here the original tube up top, and it's just basically going to come down and loop around and go back in the airbox over there. So we'll go ahead and get this installed, and then we'll get you a quick follow-up shot. All right, so we got the aftermarket Assassin's pre-airbox intake tube done, and you can see how it looks right here. Hope that helps anybody that had any inquiries as to how to get that set up correctly. All right, we updated the firmware for the ride command, and the dongle is up under the dash. Get that down in there. And you can kind of see the new splash screen. It does show a RZR Pro XP. And I really actually like the new gauges.
Free. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business.
Yeah, so as it loads the gauges here, it's like a quad display of gauges on the left. Dynamics. Different display. Yeah, really actually like the update. Get your cameras. Like that rear camera. I don't have a front camera installed. We'll see how it goes with the rear and then decide if we want to do a front. I haven't tested anything to do with the radio hack yet, just because I haven't installed my rear speakers or the sub yet. The dealer's going to be doing that here in a couple days, more than likely. So we'll see how loud it is once those get installed. All right. We're going and popping on the rock sliders now, or the max rock sliders. And this is the side that does not have it. Obviously there's 3 mounting holes. And 3. And we went ahead and did the one on this side. It's a little bit awkward, the way that they do mount. But I gotta say it is in there pretty good. You can stand on it, it's not coming off. See how it withstands, you know, actually hitting a rock. I don't think they're too strong. A lot of people have complaints about them. But I mean, if you're mashing them up on rocks and trees, or plan on doing extreme riding, perhaps you want to look into something different. I'll give these a go, see how they work, and if they're not strong enough or withstand up to what I do to them, then we'll look to upgrade them. But that's what they look like. I think they look pretty good. Had a nice look to the RZR. So far we have the roof mounted aluminum roof, the max bars on the side. Went ahead and updated the firmware for the ride command, the display gauges, and we installed the aftermarket Assassin's air intake tube. And we'll go ahead and get the other bars on the other side. And this is the other half of the hardware that's used for mounting the bars on the side, or the rock sliders. And the bolts that go into them are actually pretty interesting. They're the bolt and the washer go on the outside of the bar into the hole, and then this mounts on the other side. And as these squeeze together, they kind of offset and expand inside the bar and lock it in there. So that's how that lock works. Getting all three of these lined up perfectly into the side of the UTV with the RZR is pretty interesting. I have to say maybe the one side took me 10-15 minutes to line up and get it in there perfectly. You put them all in loosely, make sure it's snugged up in there, and these are seated all the way in, and then just give them a little tap to tighten them up so it doesn't move, and then you want to do 20 foot-pounds of a torque wrench to actually get it what's recommended by Polaris. Yep, as you can see here, the washer and the bolt are through this side, all three of them, and then you attach the bolt flanges this way, and then they'll expand when you tighten the bolt up like so. And getting these just lined up perfectly to fit in the holes on the side, that's the hard part. So take your time, might be easier with more than one individual. All right, coming together nicely. The extreme kick out rock sliders on the side. And we'll go ahead and start with the front bumper now. All right, went ahead and removed the front bull bumper, or whatever they call it, the little shorty that comes stock on the unit, and going to retain the bolts or the nuts. Actually, it's the nuts. I think we need to retain the bolts we can discard. And then we're going to go ahead and throw the new bumper on and then secure it in. All right, there's the front bumper install. There's the high bumper. Coming along nicely. I consider these things all things that you should be able to install at home without having to have the dealer install them. You know, they'll probably, as long as you got the time to install it, I'd say, you know, do these things yourself, and not burden the dealer down in your wallet with having these accessories installed. Just kind of save the more troublesome accessory installation for the dealer, such as the electrical items, any light bars, anything that's to do with lights or winches or street kit. I just maybe leave those to the dealer. But so far so good, and coming along real good, looking great, looking really great, loving it. We'll go ahead and get the rear bumper installed now, and it'll be the high bumper, and we'll get some after pictures after we get that done. So stay tuned. Kind of the before shot. Yep. And there's the rear high coverage bumper, and the extremely large box it comes in. Install gear, not a whole lot. Doesn't look like any parts have to come off. It looks like this just gets bolted on, so we'll go ahead and see how easy this is. Whew. All right, rear bumper on. That one was definitely fun. It does take two people to make this really easy. Just hold it up, it's a little awkward while you put the two upper bolts in. Then you no longer really need the second person. Just to get these upper bolts in, and then position the bottom ones down appropriately. 40 foot-pounds of torque. Yeah. All right. So that's what we're wrapping up today for install, and that was, I don't know, maybe 5 hours, 4 hours worth of install. Definitely You know, I think if you're going to pay to have your dealer do this, I'm sure they've done quite a bit more of these than I have, this being my first one. Fairly inclined when it comes to tools. But, you know, it took 4 hours or 5 hours, and I think they charge 120 bucks an hour, so definitely worth it on my part to do this, these parts myself. I have whips I'm going to do, the 5150 lighted whips, and mud buster +1 extended mud flares. Possibly tackle those tomorrow, and we'll get some videos up of those as well.